to the AV Championship. We're off to Hungary today. This is race 10 of season 3 of the AV Championship. That means I've been drinking. I am the gnome, and I'm going to be taking you through the race today. So, normally when we come on here, I've normally got my little book here of notes listed down, written up, of things, little stats and stuff of what's been going on in the last few races, but I haven't got any luck today. We're just absolutely going to wing it because I am still in disbelief and appalled and just thoroughly disappointed by the gratuitous displays of childishness on track during our previous race in France. I'm not even going to mention the names of the drivers involved. It was a Renault and a Ferrari. Renault has a 3-place grid penalty for today. The Ferrari has a 5-place grid penalty and a ban for racing today. So even if someone DNFs through qualifying, that Ferrari's still going to be behind them. Also, after such childish displays, I know this is amateur racing, but there still has to be a standard. There still has to kind of be a respect there for racing and the generalization of rules. And if you're going to drive like that, not even going to go onto the stream, we're not even going to see you today drive. I don't want to see anything like that happen ever again. I don't want to switch over to that and see people driving. I made my thoughts the first time. I contacted the stewards straight afterwards and said what I had seen and my thoughts on it. And since then, I have very kindly been requested to join the stewards as an impartial person of judgment on the races, as I do not drive in here, so I will not tolerate any stuff like that in my opinions. My thought was give both drivers a race ban. That was where I stand. That's where I still stand on displays of stuff like that. I think very much when assessing stuff like that, previous corners earlier, of how the lap has been, maybe between the two drivers when they're running closely together and assessing what is going on, why stuff like this has then happened. It's issues with drivers not holding lines through corners sometimes, and I have to accept, if you're coming into a corner there and you've got someone following very close behind you, if you then start running wide through that corner, that person is going to jump in to that space that you've just left open, because you've left the racing line, you've left a gap wide open for them. They're going to take it, and you have to then yield that position. You can't just jump back in there and try and cut them across on the line. You have to then give space to that person, and exiting off the track and then re-entering as well. I might have seen a little bit of that, of some of them blasting it straight across the blue and white marking on the edge of France there after they'd left the track. So I'm going to pass them, and they just speeded straight back on, re-entering back in front of the person, and it's very unsportsmanlike kind of contact. And yes, essentially, and before anyone wants to go off about that, yes, I absolutely torpedoed it into the side of Ethan during Season 1 in Russia, because he destroyed me through, I think, turn 12 or something towards the end of it, where I was running in the top 5 for the whole thing, and I admit what I did for that. I was completely in the wrong there, and anyways, I'm here commentating, just getting drunk right now, because I much prefer drinking, to be honest. But there we go, 15 seconds left now. We're going to come to the race. All 19 drivers. Who is missing? Only one racing point here. Yorkshire Rock. The other racing point is... I've forgotten. There we go, we're loading into Hungary right now. That's off to the Hungarian in Budapest, Hungary. 50% race as always for us. That's going to be 35 laps around here, 2.7 miles or 4.3 kilometers, 14 corners, 1 DRS zone. Across the grid straight, very short, very fast track, reasonably tight around here as well. And yes, I know some people like to refer to it as Monaco without walls. I don't agree. One of the people that's probably said it the most, Christian Horner from Red Bull, but he married a Spice Girl, so half of his opinions are null and void as far as I'm concerned. It's not Monaco without rules. It's a very old circuit, like a lot of the older European circuits. Yes, they are much thinner from when the cars are much smaller and much slower. They are much more demanding now when you've got higher speed, faster cars, much more downforce being employed around them to hold them in position. Kyle Gibbs, let's go then, Yorkshire. Got some followers here in the stream, Yorkshire Rock. And as we wait for our first drivers to come out of the pit, I'll see if I have got my weather message. No one's messaged me the weather yet. Where is my weather message, guys? I can see qualifying's dry. Let's get up our track info. Who's on what tyre right now? Everyone, most people looking to come out on the softs right now. Tiger Gizmo there. We do have both racing points here. Who's it we're missing then? He's going to be first round. Who else have we got out? There's an Alpha there. Both Williams out. One of the Williams on the side of the road there. David, not mentioning David, Lang pulling over to the side there. We saw, who's that Alpha that we saw out? That's Chronic performing very well in the race earlier in the week in France. Alfa Romeo having a very good finish in France. Back on form with both cars finishing high in the points. I think we'll stick with Chronic then for our nice, clean, fast lap around Hungary as we come across the timeline now. The longest straight section here of the track running down into the hairpin of turn 1. Hairpin does carry on going a little longer than you'd think here. Very easy to get on the gas too quickly and create a spin there. Getting nice yellow wide there to the curb as we come up in through to. Want to get a good exit there of 2 because that's going to set you up for 3 there, which is a little flat out corner, and that's going to control your speed along here as we come up to turn 5 now. White curb on the inside there, very dangerous to clip that with the inside of your tyre. Many a spin has happened. 6 and 7 now of the chicane. Very important to get a good exit of that chicane. That sets you up for the rest of the line here through sector 2. These corners, very important, linking together reasonably medium high speed corners here. Get the wrong exit out of that chicane and it's going to mess you up on the rest of those corners as we come in now to turn 13, getting a little bit wobbly on the exit there, Chronic was, and turn 14 again. You want to get as early on the power there as you possibly can because it's going to dictate the speed down this long straight here. If you're getting chased by someone or you're hunting someone down, it's going to help control that, going to help with that, the DRS as well. That puts Chronic potentially on pole there with a 114.7. Let's have a look. Who else is out here? Eggsy's got a time in there of 115. Lang's got a 115.7. Gizmo with a 116. And Luca there, 122. Bestos is jumping up with a 115 on out laps. Who's rooted down here now? The other Alfa Romeo just coming through the 6 and 7 chicane there. taking a lot of curve through 8 there. A little bit messy through these corners. Just what I said a minute ago, you start taking a wrong line through here and it messes up your speed through the rest of the corners. .12, very nice on 12 though. It is coming up as purple in sector 2 there, but we shall see. 13, inside cover 13 there, can be a little bit dangerous and slippery towards the end as well. He comes through, nearly running wide on 14. That's the other risk of putting the power down too much. It is a fastest lap, but I should imagine we can see someone beat that. As, like I said, the slight messiness in sector 2, I reckon. James there, opts to start, trying to start on the medium here. We'll see how well he fares. His medium times here fair with these soft tyres. Very short fast track. As we said, a lot of time to be made and lost around this track as well. I should imagine probably saying James will probably switch back to the soft tyre, I should imagine, to try and improve his time. So we look, Knack now, ow. Destroying his engine right now as we listen to him. That sounds absolutely horrible over revving. I hope it's not doing that on his game, and it's for some reason just my stream of his car, but from full simulation damage, that's going to destroy the engine. It's almost horrible to listen to. Luca in AI mode there in qualifying. That's not good. I think Mac wanted to get over a little bit more there. Luca slightly in the way. Mac obviously out. Very consistent. Fastest qualifying lap setter. Only been off pole in the last couple of races, or only been off the last front row in a couple of races due to grid penalties. Don't believe Hungary is his most favourite of tracks. He puts in a 1:15.2, and we're going to change drivers because that sound is absolutely horrible to listen to. Who else is out right now? Trying to put in times. Tentascorp, Lola, Yorkshire Rock Road, and Domestos all still yet to put on times. Yorkshire Rock coming across the timeline now in the racing point. We'll see what he can do for his qualifying lap. Nicely on the power there, out of turn 1. Getting wide before the entry of turn 2. Keep it to the inside curb. Get down on the power. Hard for 3. That's nice through there. Up to 4 now, just a little lift, a tiny bit of brake, maybe a bit too much brake there on that corner. Careful of that inside curb, gets a bit wobbly on there. That's going to impact his time a little bit, unfortunately. Nice exit on the chicane. A little bit slow, maybe through 8, until I said dictates the rest of it. This is nice. Coming down through 10 and 11. Nicely smooth through 12. Sector 2, very tricky to get those corners of 8, 9, 10 and 11 to link them all up in a nice, smooth, flowing motion. What have we got coming up here? That's a 118.2. That moves him up until 11th, just behind his teammate of Tomago Gizmo. Running a 1:16. That's still a bit more time to be made around here on those soft tyres, though. Most of the other drivers are looking at 1:15s. As we come down to Warscorper now, as he so time, that's moved him up into 10th now with a 1:16.1. Lollipopper down here, what's he going to move? Lollipopper jumping right up into 4th there with 1:14.8. Go down here, Tenta and Domestos still to take laps because we're not mentioning the Renault or the Ferrari. Tenta now, he's on his out lap on the medium, seeing what he can do. Obviously James still sitting quite well there with that 1:15.4 on his mediums. That set him in very good stand for the race. Santa comes through the exit of 14, looking very strong through that exit on his outlap of 14. That's going to set him up for good speed now on his fast lap. And he is on the medium tyres, not expecting probably too much quicker, maybe a slightly lower 1:14 be possible, but it might be quite hard pushing into the 1:14s on the medium tyre. Picking up a little bit of inside curb there. Those white curves are very slippery here around Hungary. As much inside as he can there. That's an invalidated lap as well. Very easy there on turn 4 to try and carry too much speed through there and invalidate a lap, or try and take the too much of an inside curve to make sure you don't run wide too much and can invalidate it on that as well. Tender's going to be disappointed with that. Domestos also here, his teammate, trying to start on the medium tyre as well. Both Red Bulls right now, neither with a time up. Domestos goes through turn 4 there without any problems, right in that curb there of 5. That was dangerous to Domestos. Maybe a little bit slow through the chicane there of 6 and 7. No, if he's pushing or... on one to nice clean lap there from Domestic. Is that not a valid lap? It didn't say out lap for me. I wasn't sure if he was pushing or not. I didn't say it was an invalid lap either, so I don't know what went on there. Either that or I'm just too drunk. Still waiting on his Red Bulls to get some times down then, as we'll jump back up. Who's on 0 laps? Where is Bestos? We haven't seen much of the Haas. He's on outlap right now. We'll get back with him when he gets back. We have Knack right now setting a fastest time in Sector 1, and he also drives straight into Bestos. I think he thought Bestos was going to be ghosted then. That's given Bestos a 5-place grid penalty for Knack driving straight into him there. Domestos appears to have connection issues. That's why we're seeing him like that. He's got an X next to his name. I don't know if Knack is going to take this time or then just drive in to the pit. Get that wing replaced and come out again. He is going to take this time. Even with that smash there into Bestos, Knack still manages a 1:14.6. If he didn't have that hit, he would have happily been on pole. Easily 2-3 tenths to be taken off from that. We're going to follow Chronic back again now. Both the Alpha teams here looking strong. FCST currently on the pole though. Knack still looking to start on the front row though, as per usual. Bit too much inside curb there from Chronic on 12. What are we doing on the exit here on time 12? I think he's going to beat his time. He does go on to pole. 1:14.443. Fastest qualifying lap ever set around here is a 1:13.447 set by Hamilton last year in 2020. We're about a second off that. Hungary being a very tricky track. who is back out now. A lot of drivers, 4 minutes left of qualifying. We're going to have a lot of drivers coming back out the pits now, as we see a lot of people back on outlaps now. Yorkshire Rock back currently on a fast lap right now. We'll see if he can move up further. Currently with a 118. That looked quicker through 4. As we come up to 5. Careful of the curb. That was a lot better. Into the chicane of 6 and 7. Nice exit on 7. Bringing it snaking through 8 and 9. Line up flat out on 10. Little bit of a lift and tie, little bit of brake for 11. All that inside curb there for 12. Into the horseshoe of 13. Careful of that inside white curb. Back round for 14. Looking a little bit hesitant, getting close to that inside barrier. What sort of time are we running? 117.4. He doesn't manage to move up. They're still currently in 16th. The Renault in front will have a grid penalty though, so he will be moving further down. 2 minutes left now. A lot of drivers here where we have James Al back out on the soft tyres now, try and improve his position from 7th where he was with the mediums. And once again, what is my display doing? He should currently be on a fast lap. We'll go to someone else then. Eggy's in the McLaren right now. He's out on a fast lap. He's currently in 8th. James Auler did set the fastest lap to 114.4. That took a while for that to register in. Don't know if he's maybe having slight connection issues there. Let's see, Eggs is nearly running wide there on the exit of 14. He manages a 115.2. He's still in 8th. It's not going to be moving up there. What's Lang pulling out? He's going round again. Not the time he wanted. He didn't move anywhere. Further up down here, we got Wuta trying to get in another lap at the end here to join him on the exit of turn 7 into 8. And 9, maybe a little bit slower through 9, nice and quick through 10, and nicely through 11, smooth through there, taking all that exit curb. Into 12, Lola, smoothing over, thank you Lola. So looking comfortable there through 13 and back on the power now hard for the rest of 14. So times it going to get to 114.7. He's in 6th. Top 8 drivers there, all within 1 second of each other. The top 3 drivers all within 7 thousandths of each other. It's going to be a close race. Lola now, he's on a fast lap going round with Mercedes. Reaper's our driver that isn't here, ladies and gentlemen, as we watch Lola take too much curb there on the exit. Knack also spinning onto the inside of the grass there. Dangerous track around the Hungarian, trying to get too much power down. So who's still out right now? FCST looking to get back up on top there. What time's he running? He's not going to do it with this time. Knack is... yeah, Knack is doing that. We're going to swiftly move on. Domestos has got a time now of 116.4 on his softs. Some drivers apparently appearing to have difficulties there in qualifying. Knack still playing around, celebrating his 5th position with some donuts there on the side of Hungary. Well done, Knack. If you retire, we can maybe move and qualify. Nope, not. We're still, everyone else has got checker flag, they finished their laps and we're still just waiting for Knack. Bring it home, boy. Bring it home. And we can get to the race. So, no AlphaTauri on the front row. No AlphaTauri claiming the fastest time, but being moved off the front row due to grid penalties. Maybe we could see some different people on the podium today. James and Chronic there on the front row, as I believe Knack has now retired. And should be able to move on to the race. Are these drivers still going round? When is qualifying? Domestos on an outlap? Qualifying's over. I'm not sure what's going on right now. We just wait for the timer to tick down instead. Oh. No. The timer appears to have got stuck on my stream. I believe the lobby might have bugged out. If anyone is watching and still driving, pull into the pit lane, choose to retire. It might move the lobby on. Well, the race is going to be sunny for it as we wait for qualifying to hopefully end. I'm not sure why it's still going on. And there we go, qualifying has finally ended now, and there we have front row James and Chronic, second row FCST and Kuhn, third row Knack and Wouter, 7th and 8th Lollipop and Eggsy, 9th and 10th Lang and Gizmo, 11th, 12th Bessos, Scorpa, 13th, 14th Domestos and 10th, 15th is the Renault, 16th is Yorkshire Rock, 17th Luca, 18th Tess, 19th is the Ferrari. That's how we're going to be going into our race. So the current driver standings stand with Knack currently at the top with 136 points. Reaper just 1 point behind in second with 135. Reaper not here today. Good chance for Knack to create a lead on him. Kuhn a little bit further behind there with 116 points. Wouter with 95. Domestos with 82. That's our top 5 drivers in the standings currently, with Reaper not here today. They're all going to be looking to maximise on points and catch up there the best we can. Wouter, our winner in Season 1. Reaper, our winner, our not here winner in Season 2. Domestos also having a podium here in Season 1. As we said, Domestos and Wouter are going to be looking to make their way up there. And quick recap of the constructors: AlphaTauri in an absolutely dominating lead of 252 points. is currently doing that with Mercedes in second with 144. Alpha with 128 in third, and Red Bull very closely behind with 124, and then Haas with 121. That's the top 5 teams in the constructors. I think everyone has, looks like, abandoned lobby and left, because I assume they're probably maybe going to set up a new lobby because it glitched out. So, as we wait for invite, I hope again we can get this race very much underway quicker than what we did of Canada. I will retire from this race as well. Obviously Canada, everyone seemed to be getting a little bit aggressive through the race because we had to remake the lobby due to glitches. They had to wait a little bit and we had a bit of an aggression going on. Some people had some penalties, the steward had to step in. That then seemed to continue in France. Well, the stewards put down their views on the penalties. A couple of drivers being very childish. Hopefully this race can get underway again quicker so we don't have any impatientness around this slightly narrow track and we have some good sportsman-like driving around here. Okay, we all remember Hulkenberg giving Magnussen the title of most unsportsmanlike driver ever for constantly driving and trying to push people off the side of the track. We don't want to see any of that around Hungary. Very nice and tight. If you're on the outside and they start to get on you, need to give them that inside line and vice versa. Inside always becomes the out as well, so you've always got the potential to get that position back so long as you can maintain your grip. I crashed because Dom's AI was ghosting. Lewis Human. I'm not sure who that is, but I assume you're racing. If people had the same YouTube names as their PSN names, I'd be able to identify it. Tess, there we go, thank you. Tess crashed because Dom's AI was ghosting. Not sure if Dom maybe had connection issues then. I'm sure we'll find that out later. As the new lobby currently being set up, I finished my drink. I'm going to open another on the sides today. Somerset Comfrey Cloudy Cider. That is happiness in a can. Get kind of lost at this point a little bit while we wait for stuff to go on. If you want to go make a cup of tea or anything, I'm sure you've got time before the race starts. Let's get back to our standings a second. What have we got? So 3 drivers so far this season have consistently been able to finish in the points every single race, and that would be Kuhn, Wuter, and Domestos. So only 3. Scorpa and the Ferrari currently lead with DNFs in a row this season, both with 3 each. Luca, keep up the good work. You're not leading. You're neither leading in DNFs in a row or total DNFs. That's been taken by the Ferrari that we do not name. Well done, Luca. Keep up the good work in the Williams. I have invites. I didn't realise. Too busy looking at the stats for you. There we go. So many people. A couple of drivers left to rejoin into the lobby so we can restart this race. In Hungary, race distance 50%. Qualifying on strict as per usual. Weather is going to be sunny for the race. Vehicle damage on reduced. At 19 of 22 in the lobby. Who are we waiting for? There should be one more. There was 19 drivers, and then there was me. Oh, there we go. Tessa just joined in. There's all 20 of us now. Domestos, Yorkshire. Need to pick your cars. And then we can get this race at the Hungarian Ring underway before everyone starts getting a little bit agitated. Of course, the grid order needs to be set. That'll be done now. That can't be done until all the race drivers have joined in to the lobby. Penalties applied for the Renault and the unnamed Ferrari. So what else? As always, the longer this goes on, the drunker I get, and the more liable I am to miss safety cars, yellow flags, or start calling Lang Knack, or vice versa, as I seem to some reason do in the few streams or parts that I have watched back. Don't know why. It's probably me that gets more agitated than the drivers, to be honest, right now. So barring Max 2 grid penalties that moved him off the front row, he has set the fastest qualifying time in 8 out of the 10 races we have currently run this season. That's obviously 2 of those he was moved off the front row, 2 was the grid penalty, but he still set the fastest lap in qualifying. The only tracks he didn't was previously was Australia and there's the other one, Australia and Belgium, and now Hungary, but he still leads that stat with overall fastest qualifying times. Who was driver of the day last week? That's something we didn't touch on because of our utter displeasure of what happened on last week. Driver of the day last week, voted in the end, was FCST. Had driver of the day last week. He finished 3rd on the podium. started in 5th on the grid. Done well to move that car up a couple of places. Don't know if that was adjusted due to the penalties that were added or not, but well done for that. Drive of the day last week, FCST. Heavy salad. Let's get dangerous then, Yorkshire. I hope this is more of a jest. We did see some very dangerous driving last week, and well, maybe keep away from that a little bit. There we go, we're coming in now. Lobby is finally loading up, as we said. Race 10, Season 3, Hungary, the Hungarian around Budapest. 35 laps, 2.7 miles, 14 corners, 1 DRS zone. A pretty short pit lane around this track as well. Average pit time lost is about 20 seconds around here, which is a bit less than some of the other short tracks that we have in the calendar. Quite demanding on the tyres is the Hungarian. I don't know if we'll see many drivers trying to favour the hards or trying to push those hards too far. Reaper has now made it in for the race. He doesn't have a qualifying time though. She might be starting at the back. Unsure if he's on the controller or the wheel right now. Hopefully on the controller. If we see him just driving through the pack like an animal, we'll know he's on the wheel. Chronic and James then on the front row of the grid. Renault on the front row of the grid. I'm not sure if this is the first time ever in AV history that a Renault has sat on the front row of the grid. I don't think many drivers have ever favoured the Renault very much, but James has done it today. Let's see who wants it more into turn 1 then. A very tight hairpin there into turn 1. I do hope the drivers further towards the back remember their braking point and their braking zones, or we could have a very big pile up and a lot of damage. We do have a reasonably long run into turn 1 as, here we go, my stream is still loading. 5 lights are on though, all 5 lights are out, and we are going to start hurtling down towards turn 1. The hairpin. Drano of James is still from there. Chronic dropping back. FCST getting up there. Instead, I saw some debris going further at the back there. Who's dropping right down? There's the unknown Ferrari dropping right down there. Yorkshire's also had problems. He's dropped further down right now. Bestos is dropping down. Warscorper. A lot of drivers changing positions. Down towards the bottom. See a Ferrari running right there. McLaren spinning round. This is looking a little bit messy on these first few laps of the McLaren of Warscorper. This gone. There's Mercedes towards the back. McLaren of Red Bull. And Yorkshire Rock quite far back. James out now, dropping down. Where is that Renault 2 in there? He's still there. This is getting very messy everywhere, all over here in this first lap. There is cars everywhere running wide around this track. Oh, I think we're going to need to see a lot of onboard footage after the start of this first lap to decide a few things. There is ghosting and all sorts of cars everywhere, looking very scrappy indeed, as Kuhn and Knack, the AlphaTauris, are now up in first. They've made it past the Renault of James. Running wide, giving Alfa Romeo space there on the side. Knack and Kuhn now out in front. Chronic seems to drop down. He doesn't appear to have damage there. Maybe just couldn't hold his position across from the start of the front row. So let's get the rest of our spectator menu up right now. There was just Warscorper's left the session. He has retired right now. Interval. Let's get Position change up there. We see Tenta's in the pit. Yorkshire's coming in to pit. Renault is further back. Lola's still running. That's all my time and position changes. Freak out for a little bit there. Williams of Lang now up into 6th, challenging Bestos here. It's got Racing Point of Gizmo right behind him, still in this main pack. There's a Renault off there I see at the side parked. That's James out, stopped on the track on the corner there. Lang's now in the pit. A lot of drivers already pitting here. We got Lola, the Renault. The other Renault's coming in. That Tenta, Yorkshire, all having already pitted off this. Maybe they can hopefully make that as a Ferrari of Tess has just retired. This is virtual safety cars on the way right now. This is just what I was not hoping for after the last couple of races. I says it is amateur racing, but there needs to be some sort of standard here. I understand people are vying for position and want to try and get position at the start, but you still need to be fair with your movements across the track. Cutting someone up, if you go a little bit wide and trying to pull back on the track, you cut someone else up, they're going to end up braking hard. Someone's going to go into the back of them, and there's going to be a massive great collision between drivers that are behind you. And when you're that close together running at the start, every action you make has a reaction to somewhere else on the grid. Legislative has gone. We are racing again to Alfa Romeo. So there cleanly. The unnamed Ferrari has now retired. Two Alphas just pulling out a lead here. Wuta in the Alfa Romeo said our winner from season 1, trying his best there to hunt them down. A good 3 seconds in front of this Haas pair, who've got a couple of seconds between them. Now got some space around the track. What's going on down here with Exys and Luca? Exys trying to get past Luca right now, following very close behind him. Put on the brakes there, scared going to the back of Luca. Luca picking up grass there on his exit. Exys trying to find the space he wants past here. Full track, yellow flags everywhere, we can't be overtaking. Full track, yellow flags, we're not just under a virtual safety car. There's a Red Bull I see way off the track there in turn 1. That's going to be Tenta, I believe. Yeah, but that looks like his wheel's broken. I don't know what he's doing that deep down there in turn 1. I don't know if that's what's causing this full track yellow sector. Maybe retire Tenta, it might sort that out. His car his lobby is still glitching out a little bit, I think. He's still trying to get past Luca. My screen showing Luca disconnecting and glitching forward then. What is going on with this lobby? 5 laps in. Almost call a restart on this. This is... full sector yellow flags. Again, sector 1 to 3, yellow's gone, yellow's back on. I agree, Will Walker. This should, I think, be race restart. We've got full sector yellow flags here right now. It's just, we can't overtake or do anything under these yellows. The yellows have gone, yellows are back on. The yellow flags just keep flashing up on the side of my map. I don't know if it's going to let the drivers overtake each other or whether it's going to penalise them for it. Kuhn is going that for it on Knack. He is in Sector 1 and stuff right now, though. Still keeps popping up for me. Everyone on the stream is calling for a restart. I agree for maybe a race run restart as well. Just gonna throw a message up there. Reaper having made his way up into 8th there through all this carnage. My telemetry data is still throwing up the yellow flags in all these sectors constantly. This can't constantly just be people drawing wide and going off the track. Luca make a move there on Reaper, we see. Cliff Glitchard, I like that. Heavy Salad, I like that. It's still throwing up these yellow flags. X is getting in there tight on the inside of Reaper. I think we have to assume Reaper is on the controller today. I have messaged about it. Will Walker, I don't know. I think they're all in tune with what they're doing. Maybe, I don't know, may it be rerun another day? I'm not sure if I am in charge of that decision or not. There's Tenta retiring from the session. There's a virtual safety car out right now. Maybe that virtual safety car will sort out the sector yellow flags, but still think maybe we should be on a race restart. Yes. Luca picking up a drive-through penalty under the safety car. I don't know if I do. People in charge of the race and in charge of the league do race in it as well. I don't know if they will call for a restart after that's actually been finished, or whether it will maybe be discarded, but that was absolute mess at the start. Virtuals ended then, and we're still getting constant yellow flags popping up in sectors. Haven't yet seen just got to drive through. Kuhn's got to drive through there. Four drivers currently retired there from the race. 4, 5, I think 6 maybe. But now coming up as DNF 5. This is I'm on the pit with Yorkshire Rock. Your stream showing 15, his race showing 13. Did see that happen once before. Riley was having issues like that. If the race does deem to continue, they did take the finishing time from O'Reilly's stream and use that to move him up to the position where he was earlier in the season. Does currently showing Yorkshire Rock and Lollapalooza both as one lap behind, even though Lollapalooza is in front of Chronic right now, so there is definitely some problems with this lobby. Still less than a third of the way through. I'd say, to me, it can still be restarted. I don't have control over that though, and I'll try and get back on and see what's going on here between Bestos and Domestos. Give the people what they want. I'd like to if I could, Heavy Salad. I don't have that control right now though. They can't hear me. The people that set up the league are in their cars right now driving, but who has the say then? The people on the major. The league was set up by Domestos. Kuhn and Wouter are both admins in here as well. I was added in to the stewardship party to check for misgoings in the race. We're under a full safety car right now. This to me, 10 laps in, would be the point, the cut-out point for restarting a race, in my opinion. Much longer, and I think we have to keep going. There's cars everywhere in the wall right there. I'm just in messages with some people. Lang's now left the session. Domestos has DNF'd. I think the race is going to be cancelled now. More drivers, I think, choosing to just drop out. Ghosting going on everywhere here right now. That's a shame. Follow now out. Everyone's running an AI right now, trying to work out in the messaging what is going on. Race is cancelled. That is official. It has been posted up in the chat. Race is cancelled. The AV stream is sorry about that. I do not know if the race will be rerun or not, if there is time to rerun it, or whether it will just be black flagged. That will be cancelled. I'm not sure what happened in the actual league lobby. I think sometimes in his actual league lobbies, if someone has a dodgy internet connection and it starts lagging out, it can affect that whole league lobby, and I think that's what might have happened. And then we're forced to go to unranked, and these unranked lobbies like this, they are a bit of a mess, in my opinion, and stuff like this happens. The lobby's determined by people from what country and where they're geographically located, so where the lobby's loaded up and who it seems to load in there first. And it appears to have just caused a lot of problems. FCSC looks like it must have finished the race right now though. The following for the Blue and White Wizard is overwhelming. The FIA will be having kittens. The following for the Blue and White Wizard is very overwhelming, to be honest. I always see a lot of you coming in here, checking out the races each week. It's very encouraging, and we do enjoy it. I'm about to pull the plug on the stream right now. There's that unnamed Renault in second. That's the highest you're ever going to run in your life, innit, buddy? We'll see you later. We'll hopefully see you again on Monday for what will be Monday's race. Real quickly. Monday is Italy. Off to Monza. Another very old, very classic European track. We're going to pull the plug on the stream because we don't want to watch that Renault anymore. That's the wrong button. And we'll see you again soon. Terribly sorry.